What's up, guys? On Friday, I saw the new movie Twister starring Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell, he's someone that Hollywood's really pushing right now. He's been in a lot of movies, going to continue to be in a lot of movies. Daisy Edgar Jones she's really new. Like, I don't want to say she's like unknown. Like, people should know who Daisy Edgar Jones is by now. She was in Normal People. She was in Where the Crawdads Sing. She was in that Hulu movie that was pretty good with Sebastian Stan. She's a really great young actress. And this movie is a sequel to, I think, it's in the same universe as the Twisters movie. I don't know if it's like a direct sequel, but I wasn't going to come in here and say, oh, I never saw that movie, but excuse me, that's a lie. Because I did see that movie. I think when I was in middle school, my science teacher might have shown that movie to us. It was like a 2-hour delay or something, and he didn't feel like doing a whole lecture, so he put that movie on because it's a disaster movie. It's tornadoes, blah blah blah. So I've seen like bits and pieces of Twister, not Twisters, Twister. But yeah, this isn't really a direct sequel. Also, Anthony Ramos is in this movie, and Anthony Ramos, I feel like a lot of people are gonna put a lot of weight on whether this movie does, because right now this movie is doing very well domestically, but it costs $200 million. And this movie does not got that much international appeal, and it's not doing that well internationally, so it's probably not going to turn a profit. It might break even, but it's not going to turn a huge profit. And I think they should make a sequel to this, because I do think it's good enough for a sequel, in my opinion, and I think they should probably try to make it cost less than $200 million. But I think a lot of people are going to put whether this movie does good or bad on Glenn Powell, when we can look at Anthony Ramos. And Glenn Powell's been like, he was in Top Gun Maverick, but like, do people really see that movie because of Glenn Powell? Can we really put that W on his chest, you know? Like, I feel like Anthony Ramos has been in just as many big IP movies as Glenn Powell, and has just as many, like, I feel like people are going to put a lot of this weight on Glenn Powell, when I feel like Anthony Ramos and Glenn Powell pretty much have I don't think Glenn Powell has that many more lines than Anthony Ramos in this movie, nor that much more screen time. Like, Daisy Edgar Jones' character is like, she really is the main, like, in my opinion, she's the main character in the movie. We never see Glenn Powell's character without her. We see Anthony Ramos' character without her for maybe one. Okay, that's a lie. We see both of their characters without Daisy Edgar Jones on screen for the same amount of time. That's for about 1 to 5 minutes. It's when Anthony Ramos' character is talking with David Cornsweet's character, and Glenn Powell's character is talking with his boy Boone and the reporter. So like I'm saying, I know this is off track from the movie, but like, a lot of weight's gonna be put on Glenn Powell, when I feel like Anthony Ramos and Glenn Powell do about pretty much the same amount in this movie, and they've done about pretty much the same amount in their careers up to this point. Like, Anthony Ramos was just in that Transformers movie, and he's gonna be in the G.I. Joe and Transformers movie. We can assume that, right? So it's like, to really put all this weight on Glenn Powell when Anthony Ramos is right there, that's what people are gonna do. And I think I don't know, like, they've done pretty much the same things, and they're doing pretty much the same things in this movie, in my opinion. I feel like their characters have pretty much just as big a roles. They're both supporting characters to Daisy Edgar Jones' character. And as a leading woman, Daisy Edgar Jones did a fantastic job. Like, sometimes I was thinking, man, like, they really aren't doing like this is like, I want to be like, man, her friends fucking died, and she's like really like, she's disassociating, and she's like clearly scared to be back out there. But a part of me wants to say, but they're fucking chasing tornadoes and twisters and shit. Like, they're doing crazy shit. So it's like, it's fucked. It's all fucked. So it's like, how do you, like, I don't know. I feel like they really handled it. Like, sometimes I wanted to criticize it, but it's hard to criticize. Like, you're all like, deaths like that are weird, because it's like, while it sucks that she thinks she's at fault, what they're doing is already inherently dangerous. So, while it does have a big effect on Anthony Ramos' character, he says in the movie he lost 3 of his best friends. You can't really put a lot of that on her. And I think she was right when she kind of got mad and stormed off, because, like, they know what the fuck they're doing is dangerous. And to put that, and for him to try to throw that in her face is like, that's why I think she played it really well, because like I feel like a lot of different directors, a lot of different actors would have played that in a way that would have made her type of character very annoying, or like done something that you wouldn't have been able to sympathize with her about. But I feel like she played it in a way where you can really sympathize with her. And I feel like this whole movie was like, she really played it up well. She's a grieving woman trying to come back in her own, trying to find her identity, try to get back to who she was 5 years later after the beginning, after what happens in the beginning of the movie. I don't want to, So, yeah. Glenn Powell, I really don't forget. I don't remember his character's name, but he was good. He was good. Like, yeah, I can see it. Another thing that kind of, like, another thing that bothered me, but I saw this article this morning about why they didn't do it. They really played up the, like, chemistry between Daisy Edgar Jones' character and Glenn Powell's character. And I was like, they were really playing this up and they never kissed. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way they've done this for 20, 30, 40 minutes and they're not going to kiss. And then I saw the article that Steven Spielberg and Isaac Chang and a whole lot of them were like, they thought it would have taken away from Daisy Edgar Jones, her taken away from her journey in the movie if they just made it all end with a kiss. And I really agree, and I agree with that, But we're at a time where our movies are the most, like, go watch. I was watching Set It Off yesterday. That fucking, and I know it's a bank robber movie, and I know it's an R-rated movie, and I know it's from the 90s, but like in the middle of the movie, fucking Jada Pinkett Smith and I think Blair Underwood have a fucking sex scene. They don't do that nowadays, even in R-rated movies. They don't do that anymore. They don't have this random sex scenes. Like, our movies are very sexless right now. And a lot of people think it's unnecessary, but like, we can watch all these movies about drugs, serial killers, this, that, and the third, but sex is where we're drawing the line. So it's like, I understand why they didn't do it, but I feel like at the time where our movies are the most sexless, like we like looking at sexy people. We don't like watching them do sexy things, pretty much. But I understand why they didn't have them kiss and why they're probably going to save it for the sequel. But that's just something that really bothered me, because they were really playing that shit up for 20 to 30 minutes straight and they never fucking kissed. And they did film a scene of them kissing. Like, people saw that. They did film the scene, but, hey, I agree. I understand why they did it. And I do kind of agree that they probably made the right call. David Cornsweet. Hard to believe that dude's going to be Superman. And this might be a hot take, but I've already seen him in like 2 to 3 things. That dude's a good actor. Really good actor. Not saying the last guy that played Superman wasn't that great of an actor, but I feel like this guy can do a lot of things that the last guy probably couldn't do. The last guy's got a little box. And David Cornsweet, I've seen him in like 2 to 3 different things by now. It seems like he don't got a box. He can do whatever. He really played the rich, who gives a fuck type of this asshole. He played that so well. He played it so well. But yeah, overall, I still feel like something was missing. Like, I feel like they had a lot of supporting characters they didn't really do a lot with. Like that Kathy O'Brien in this movie. She was just in that movie with Kristen Stewart that she was so fucking good in. But I feel like her character had like 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, and like a couple lines. Like, I feel like this movie was missing like a real balls to the wall, crazy motherfucker. And I feel like Glenn Powell's character was supposed to be that, but I didn't get balls to the wall. This motherfucker has got a screw loose inside of his brain. Like, I feel like this movie was missing that type of character where you can it's more than just showing you're crazy. Like, I gotta get the vibe that you're fucked. Like, you got a screw loose inside of your brain. I want to get that vibe off of you as a character. I didn't get that vibe off of any character in this movie. And I feel like you gotta have a screw loose to really chase fucking tornadoes. Like that's some crazy shit that you're doing. But overall, I did like Twisters, and I do recommend it. And I do think it's a worthy, not even direct sequel, but it's a worthy movie. And I do recommend you go see it. So Twisters, I give it about a 7 out of 10. I recommend you go see it. I didn't even see it in IMAX, and the movie still looked beautiful. So I only can imagine what it looks like in IMAX. So Twisters, 7 out of 10. Peace.